All right, it's Thanksgiving weekend, Black Friday weekend, Cyber Monday coming up, and I thought today we're getting really close to winter, and I'll do my winter warmers fragrances. Warm, spicy, oody, woody, kind of gooey, ambery fragrances. If you want to find out what they are, then please stay tuned. Thanks so much for tuning in. And yes, today, this is winter warmers. These are the fragrances that will keep you warm when it's cold outside. As I said, warm, spicy, oody, woody, gooey, vanillic, ambery fragrances are what I'm talking about today in this particular video. Not a ranked video. I'm suggesting, mostly niche. And, there are some designers in here, and these are all unisex. I made sure to make sure these are all unisex, and you just have to decide if it's too feminine for you or too masculine for you to wear them. But I'll let you know what they are before I do. If this is your first time tuning into the channel and you still haven't subscribed, please do click the subscribe button below and also click the bell so that you'll be notified for future videos and giveaways. I just want to let you know one little thing before I move forward. I did a Black Friday fragrances video the other day, and I mentioned Rakuten in that video. If you haven't taken advantage of that, please do. I have a link in the info box. And with this Rakuten, I run all my orders through Rakuten. So I search on Rakuten, a retailer, and it creates it opens up a window. And then from there, I shop at that retailer, and it'll earn me commission. It's cash back, basically. And once you accrue an amount of cash back, you will get a check sent to you. And I just got mine sent in the mail right here. I don't want to expose anything with my address and everything, but they send these every 3 months. And I do a lot of shopping online. I buy a lot of fragrances. And I also, not only fragrances, everything I run. If I'm going to buy clothing and things like that through Macy's or any of the department stores that are under Rakuten, I run them through there and I generate commissions. So they have a $40 sign up right now. If you sign up with my link, you get $40 back once you spend $40 or more. And then they also give me $40 as well. So it's basically free to sign up, and you get your first $40 for free. Generally, this is $30. But now they're doing $40, so it's a great time to take advantage. So let's get started with the fragrances. The first fragrance I'm going to talk to you about from the Winter Warmers collection of scents I'm discussing today is MAITRE Parfumeur at Gantier's Ambre Precio. So this particular amber, in comparison to Ambre Mythique, is more syrupier. Still a dry amber, but not as dry as Ambre Mythique. This is amber, myrrh, lavender, Tolu balsam, vanilla, Peru balsam, nutmeg. So it's warm, gooey, vanillic, balsamic, resinous, and spicy amber. There's aromatic touches in here, of course, with the lavender as well. So you get spices, you get gooey, syrupy, vanillic amber. Yummy, yummy fragrance. So this is MAITRE Parfumeur at Gantier Ambre Precio. Check that out if you don't know it. The next one I'm talking about is Benjoin Bohème from the House of Diptyque. I love this fragrance, and I love it because of the benzoin note. This is a warm vanillic resin, and it smells unique. That'll remind you of vanilla but still have the resinous touches. And it's mostly about benzoin, sandalwood, styrax, and patchouli, but very, very warm and spicy and syrupy and gooey at the same time. And it kind of pays homage to that benzoin note. This is basically the star of the show, and it's an absolute love for me, as I love these kind of warm, gooey, spicy, vanillic, ambery fragrances. So that's Benjoin Bohème from the House of Diptyque, a great scent. The next one I'm talking about is from the House of NISHANE. This is Ani, this one right here. And this is a great vanilla, once again, but it's also a zingy, spicy vanilla with sandalwood as well. So there's some creamy touches in here. The vanilla and the sandalwood kind of together is smooth and creamy, and of course ambery as well. But that ginger really adds this unique zing to the fragrance. And then that cardamom aromatic spiciness is also really, really great. So those four notes really work wonderfully together. There's also additional woods, some black currant, bergamot, and pink pepper for a gorgeous winter winter warmer type of a fragrance. So this is Nishane's Ani at number 3. Again, this is not a ranked video. Next up is the latest from the house of Tower Perfumes. This is Sundowner. I've been really digging this one. Really loving it. And my video review for this will come out next week, so stay tuned for that. But this is focusing on cinnamon, tobacco, tonka beans, vanilla, cacao, sandalwood, cypriol. It's an amber, but it's a unique take on amber with tonka beans. You can totally smell it. The tobacco is also pretty prominent. But you know what? I think this is a different kind of an amber. Tower Perfumes is known for the ambery fragrances like L'air du Desert Marocain and also Accour de Desert. There is a specific kind of amber. This one to me is a different take on an ambery fragrance with that tobacco, the vanilla, and then of course the cinnamon and tonka notes. So great fragrance. Sundowner from Tower Perfumes. I really love that fragrance. The next up fragrance I'm talking about is from the house of Atelier des Ors. This is LUNE FELINE Extrait. Do you know this particular one? LUNE FELINE is a great balsamic, spicy vanilla fragrance. This is taking that fragrance to another level. It's going into a bit of a more spicy direction. So it's intensified with Peru balsam, vanilla, green notes, styrax, musk, cinnamon, cardamom, and wood. So there's a little bit of an animalic touch in here, and I think it's the type of musk they're using in here, but it's very gooey, it's warm, it's spicy, it's vanillic and ambery, of course. This is LUNE FELINE Extrait from the house of Atelier des Ors. The next fragrance I'm talking about is Ristretto Intense Cafe from the house of MONTALE. I'm going with a little twist today. I wanted something coffee-like in this list, and this one definitely satisfies, whereas the original Intense Cafe, not necessarily ultra coffee, if at all. This, to me, you can actually smell the coffee with that kind of like latte-like experience, the rose latte-like experience. It has Italian espresso, Turkish rose, vanilla, caramel, amber, white musk, and woody notes. So it's a great concoction. And again, if you want something a little more of a coffee-like experience rather than just the latte experience, definitely try Ristretto Intense Cafe. I think it's a great warm experience with coffee, latte, and rose all together. Alright, this next one's a bad boy and I really love it, from the house of Frederic Malle. This is Musk Ravageur, a very sexy, musky gourmand fragrance with warm notes and spicy notes all together. It's a great spicy, fuzzy, musky fragrance, but again, it has the spices and the vanillic touches that I really love in this particular fragrance. Kind of a gourmand take on musks, but it features vanilla, musk, cinnamon, lavender, sandalwood, amber, patchouli. Beautiful creation by Maurice Roussel, one of the best musks out there on the market, and I think if you like gourmands and musk together, this one should satisfy. So this is Frederic Malle's Musk Ravageur, a great fragrance. This next one's from the house of Kilian. We're kind of going through Estee Lauder, I guess. But this is Angel Share, a great gourmand, boozy, spicy, kind of vanillic and tonka beany. But it features notes of cognac, cinnamon, praline, tonka beans, vanilla, sandalwood, and oak. So there is that kind of liqueur-like experience, but it's a gourmand liqueur-like experience. It's also very warm, spicy, great fragrance to keep you warm when it's really cold outside. So Angel Share from the house of Kilian, a wonderful fragrance. The next fragrance I'm talking about is from the house of Jovoy. This is Psychedelique. Psychedelique is definitely all about patchouli, but it's that warm, spicy take on patchouli because it has loads of resins and amber in the notes. So basically, you've got patchouli, amber, vanilla, labdanum, geranium, rose, and musk. Basically, you've got that earthy patchouli, that's really intense woodiness and earthiness from this patchouli contrasted with the amber note and the vanilla note, and then labdanum in here as well. So it creates a beautiful chocolate cakey experience that's really to die for. Very delicious. But you know, it's kind of like a gourmand with an overdose of like patchouli woods, kind of a thing. Really beautiful fragrance. This is Jovoy Psychedelique, a great fragrance if you don't know that already. The next fragrance I'm talking about is from the house of Maison Francis Kurkdjian. This is Grand Soir, and a great amber once again. It's very warm and spicy, very gooey, syrupy, molassesy. Beautiful, actually. Really a great fragrance. But I do notice that there is a little bit of a chocolate dusting experience when I wear this one, and it's not like full-on chocolate or cacao. You can kind of experience the chocolatiness when you're wearing it. But it's amber, benzoin, vanilla, tonka beans, labdanum. A beautiful fragrance. I think this is definitely one of the top fragrances from this house, and Francis Kurkdjian's done a great job creating a beautiful, gorgeous amber. So this is Grand Soir from the house of Maison Francis Kurkdjian. A really wonderful fragrance. The next fragrance I'm talking about is from the house of Initio Parfums. This is Absolute Aphrodisiac. Have you guys heard about this one? I have a full review of this on the channel. Go catch it if you don't know it. But I was a late discoverer of this fragrance, and I'm absolutely obsessed with the way this particular vanilla smells. It's got white flowers, amber, vanilla, musk, castoreum. There's a bit of an animalic leatheriness with this one, which could kind of turn off people, but it adds this kind of muskiness, that sexiness that really is a great contrast to the kind of like the warm vanillic ambery notes in here. A great warm fragrance, really a wonderful fragrance to wear when it's cold outside. It's kind of cozy, comforting, and then also a little sexy and a little animalic at the same time. Gorgeous fragrance. Initio Parfums Absolute Aphrodisiac. Check that out if you don't know it. The next fragrance I'm talking about is from the house of Penhaligon's. This is Babylon. Do you know this one? One of the best fragrances for a long time from this house. It's so delicious, a really, really delicious, warm and gooey, ambery vanilla fragrance. Again, it's a vanilla, and these are kind of like the winter warmers that I talk about. Vanilla fragrances to me, amber fragrances, and honey, of course, are all very warm and cozy, and this is perfect. Vanilla, cedar, sandalwood, cypriol, nutmeg, saffron, coriander. So there is a little bit of cypriol in here, adds a kind of a unique earthy, woody, vetiver, patchouli like a combo in this particular fragrance. Kind of light. The nutmeg adds a unique kind of a spice in here, not too distinguishable. There's some spice in here also from the, the saffron note, which adds a little bit of an aromatic twist to the fragrance and a little leathery touch as well, but it's mostly about the vanilla with the cedar, and then just a very, very gooey, cozy concoction. So this is Babylon from the house of Penhaligon's, a great fragrance. And the next fragrance I'm talking about is also a vanilla, but a totally different vanilla. This is from the house of Laboratorio Olfativo. This is Vanagloria, this one right here. Do you know about this fragrance? This is a very religious kind of a fragrance for me because it's vanilla with incense and lots of it. And the reason I get that religious or churchy like experience because it's got lots of incense in here, and it's a great contrast to the vanilla. The vanilla, really beautiful, sweet, kind of resinous and not necessarily ultra syrupy, a little dry and dusty kind of vanilla contrasted with that incense or the frankincense note in here, because there's also some olibanum, and they're kind of dry notes, so they contrast with that vanilla. And with the syrupiness of the vanilla, it's kind of like removed and kind of like takes on the dustiness of the resins in here. But in the end, it's vanilla, incense, olibanum, tonka beans, saffron, and musk. There's a little bit of a light leathery touch, but for me, it's mostly lots of incense and resinous frankincense and olibanum contrasted with lots of syrupy, gooey vanilla. Very, very delicious and very, very religious for me because it reminds me of church, going to the Christian Orthodox church I used to go to when I was very, very young. So Vanagloria from Laboratorio Olfativo, a great fragrance from the house of Laboratorio Olfativo. That fragrance, Vanagloria, has become my favorite fragrance from Laboratorio Olfativo, and it is created by my favorite perfumer of Dominique Ropion. He did a great job with that one. But moving on with the next fragrance, going to the house of Wilhelm Parfumerie. This is the Oud Affaire. I don't know if you guys know this one. I've spoken about it quite a bit of times the last couple of weeks or so. I did a video on this brand. You can go catch that. And I also did a video on Oud and gourmand notes, because that's what this is pretty much, but it also has tobacco, and it's a beautiful fragrance. It does hint a little bit at tobacco vanille, but I think it's a great warm, spicy, gooey kind of a fragrance. Features tobacco leaves, oud, black vanilla, honey, ginger butter. Hey, ginger butter, right? That sounds really, really yummy, right? There's a little bit of a gooey, buttery experience in here, and it has that kind of like zing from the ginger note, and it's very, very syrupy honey and honey vanilla together. Oh boy, that's a great combination of fragrances. Yeah, it can be sweet, but it does have the oud in here, and the tobacco leaves kind of like cut through the sweetness and to create a nice, beautifully balanced fragrance featuring oud and gourmand notes. So this is the Oud Affaire from the house of Wilhelm Parfumerie. Hopefully you know that fragrance. This next fragrance is from the house of Zoologist Perfumes. This is B, and this one happens to be a very, very warm and spicy, gooey, syrupy, honeyed experience, and definitely a winter warmer for me. Features honey, royal jelly, mimosa, heliotrope, broom, orange blossom, benzoin, vanilla. So it's definitely powdery, and for me it's kind of like the tea service come alive with all the gooey, yummy kind of treats you would experience. Plus you're sitting at a table that has all these beautiful yellow flowers, because it definitely has a display of loads of yellow flowers in here, and lots of honey and, you know, flowers and an orange blossom and some gooey notes and vanilla and things like that. A great warm spicy fragrance from the house of Zoologist Perfumes. That's B. It's a very, very yummy fragrance if you don't know it already. The next fragrance I'm talking about is from the house of Dior, Feb Delicious. A wonderful fragrance, really warm and spicy and gooey and syrupy at the same time. It features tonka beans, vanilla, caramel, dark chocolate, cherry, benzoin, leather, coconut, and lavender. The entire combination is great, and this particular fragrance, the more I wear it, the more it starts reminding me of things like Naxos from the house of Xerjoff, because there is that lavender in here, and it's also tonka. Tonka beans is used in fougere fragrances as a base note. Lavender, you know, more in the heart notes. And it kind of takes on a little bit of like a fougere experience, but more like a gourmand fougere experience. But it's really, really delicious. I love it because of the tonka beans, the gooey notes, the chocolate, vanilla. Yummy. It's really, really yummy. Dior Feb Delicious, a great winter warmer fragrance from the house of Dior. The next fragrance I'm talking about is from the house of Tiziana Terenzi. This is Arakis. I don't know if you guys know this particular one. Very, very intense, syrupy, gooey, sticky kind of a tobacco fragrance from the house of Tiziana Terenzi. It does remind me of Carlisle and Red Tobacco. It's a little different, but it features tobacco, tonka beans, gaiac wood, spices, osmanthus, vetiver, and patchouli. It's very, very intense, guys, and a little goes a long way. This particular fragrance, I think, is perfect for really, really cold days, to cut through that cold. Definitely very, very warm and spicy, and perfect to wear when it's really, really cold outside. So that's Arakis from the house of Tiziana Terenzi. This next fragrance, I'm going to the house of Mancera. This is Crazy for Oud, this one right here. So this one is another kind of chocolatey, creamy take on oud with kind of a rosiness in there, and a very, very light, very, 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 very light, kind of like reminder of something like Baccarat Rouge or like Ambroxan or something. That's way in the background, so it doesn't come full display, but it kind of reminds me of it in the background for some reason. There's something in there that does that. But this is featuring oud leather, tiramisu, rose, vanilla, woodsy notes, amber, white musk, violet, and patchouli. It's very, very delicious. I was surprised at how great it is. You do experience the chocolatey touches from the tiramisu, and then also creamy, milky kind of buttery touches from that tiramisu as well. Very delicious, but it is oudy. So if you don't like oud, this one might not do it for you, but it's definitely warm and spicy and a great winter warmer. So that is Crazy for Oud from the house of Mancera. Next up, going to the house of Sarah Baker Perfumes. This is Ludo. This is another fragrance that I keep speaking about quite frequently, and I'm actually really, really in love with it. A great fragrance. Has become my favorite from this house, and it is created by Chris Maurice, whom I'm a fan of. His perfumes are great, and it features oud, but it's a creamy gourmand oud once again. Really delicious with the notes. It's Laotian oud, oud amber, Cypriol, white chocolate, cherry, vanilla, orange blossom. There's some petitgrain, there's some neroli in there as well. So it's really a yummy experience, but unique in a way that it's kind of a gourmand, but then again it's not. But yes, it experiences kind of gourmandish notes. Lots of oud, but there's also the whole orange tree with the leaves, the flowers, and you name it, all of that in here. Very, very delicious. It's great, and it's very, very warm and spicy, perfect for winter wear. So that is Ludo from the house of Sarah Baker Perfumes. And then this next one is from the house of Tom Ford. This is Tobacco Vanille. I couldn't leave this one out. Yummy fragrance. Still my favorite fragrance. I love this fragrance because it's got lots of vanilla, and this doesn't necessarily get ultra syrupy. It goes more, you know, a little dry. There's a little bit of a dryness in here, but there is a kind of like a cocoa touch in here or a cacao touch in here, and a little bit of a clovey, spicy touch, maybe a little cinnamon, because that's what I get. But there's also a little bit of a fruitiness in here. But really, really yummy fragrance, and it's also warm and cozy, spicy, and perfect type of fragrance to wear when it's really, really cold outside. So this is Tobacco Vanille from the house of Tom Ford. A wonderful fragrance. I really love that fragrance. I think it's still my favorite fragrance from that house. And last but not least, and keep in mind it's not a ranked video, it's from the house of Xerjoff. This is Italica. So this is a great fragrance. Very, very gourmand, but also a little berry-like, a twist thrown in there with notes of saffron, almonds, milky notes, bourbon, vanilla, toffee, sandalwood, and white musks. Yes, toffee is full on. There's a cookie butter-like experience. It's very, very buttery, also very lactonic and milky because there's a major like milk presence in here, but it's lots of vanilla with almonds, so you do get that kind of like a gourmand almondy experience, but very, very delicious. And don't forget the berry. There is like a berry like a tart, sweet, reddish berry kind of experience in here, all contrasted with those notes that I mentioned. Really delicious. So that's Xerjoff's Italica, and that's the last fragrance for my winter warmers fragrance video. And let me know your thoughts on these fragrances. Are you a fan of these kind of fragrances? Do you like the warm, spicy, gooey, vanillic, ambery, honeyed fragrances to wear in the winter time? If you have a favorite I did not mention, please let me know. Put a comment down so I can find out. Either way, guys, thanks so much for watching today's video. I hope everybody's having a great Thanksgiving weekend and enjoying all the Black Friday shopping you're doing. If you have any questions or comments, please list below. Please like this video. Please share it. Follow me on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram, and I'll be back with more videos and giveaways very soon. Have a good one. Goodbye. Alright, I'm not ending the video with all of those. I'm going to add one more, and I didn't want to make it an overly vanillic video, but this is one that I've really, really been enjoying a lot lately. This is Vanilla Diorama from the house of Dior. So good, guys. This is really, really great. It's very syrupy, powdery, but lots of vanilla with a dusting of chocolate. It's a boozy vanilla, and there's orangey touches, and just a very, very pleasant fragrance to wear. I think he's leaving, Francois Dumashi is leaving Dior on on a high note, because this fragrance is, I think he did a great job with it. Yes, it's a vanilla. We've seen vanillas over and over and over again, but I think he's left us with something really absolutely delicious that I think should stay around for a long time. But this is lemons, oranges, pink pepper, cardamom, bourbon, vanilla, rum, cocoa, sandalwood, and patchouli. It's really, really delicious, and I think it's a fantastic winter warmer fragrance. Gooey, spicy, warm, vanillic, ambery, honeyed kind of an experience that's to die for. Anyway, this is the bonus fragrance, and it's Dior's Vanilla Diorama, and that's the last fragrance I'm going to talk to you about today. Thanks so much for sticking around. Have a good one. Goodbye.